Can you believe it has been 6 months since the Switch has come out? It is the 3rd of September, the day I am posting this video, and that is 6 months after when we first got the Switch on the 3rd of March, and I was lucky enough to get the Switch day one, get Zelda day one, although I didn't have the time to play it until the Saturday after, which was the 4th. I've had a blast playing Zelda. But yeah, it has been 6 months since the Switch has come out. So what I thought would do is offer my thoughts on where the Switch is at this moment in time. Just my thoughts on what's happened over the last 6 months and my experience with the Switch. And it has been a really fun experience. Like, ever since I first got my Switch, had a blast playing Zelda. Still got loads to do in that game. Seriously, I've just got loads to do in that. You know, went to ARMS as well, had a blast playing that game, put in about 20 hours. And then Splatoon 2 came out, and I've just been having a blast playing that as well. So they're the 3 games that I own at this moment in time. I only own 3 games at the moment, but seriously, I'm just having a blast playing those 3 games and going proper deep into them. There are other games like Minecraft that I am interested in, which I will be picking up soon. Mario Rabbids I will probably pick up next year, just because I just want to spend the time playing the games that I already have instead of buying new games. That is what I did on the Wii U. I just bought new games left, right and centre, and I probably have about like 12 games for the Wii U where I bought them and I've never played them. So I don't want to fall into that situation again, just because I'm just throwing money away. So what I am doing with the Switch is playing the games that I have, getting the most out of them, and then when I am ready for something new, that is when I will be buying a new game. My next new game that I will be picking up will be FIFA 18 on the Switch at the end of September. I'm really happy with Splatoon 2, Zelda and ARMS as well. Really, I'm happy with that combination, that flipping holy trinity of flipping greatness. And that is what the Switch has been. It's just been flipping greatness ever since it's come out. Just had a really good time. Seriously, I think the Switch has the best year one lineup for a console ever, and that is something which I called out in my Nintendo Switch is Doomed video, which we'll be referencing quite a bit. I will be referencing that later on when I'm going to talk about the haters and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the Switch, it has the greatest year one lineup for a console in history. We have a Zelda game, we've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you got ARMS, you got other games that I'm missing out from third parties, like you got Super Bomberman R, you got Fast RMX, you got so many games out there. You got Splatoon 2, Mario Rabbids coming out, plus you got Super Mario Odyssey, Rocket League, Pokemon Tournament DX, which I'm not going to pick up just because the demo is just pretty much the exact same game from the Wii U. It just feels like they are just porting the Wii U version to the Switch, so I won't be picking up Pokemon Tournament for the Switch, just because I did play it a lot on my Wii U. But you got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming at the end of the year. You got Skyrim, which is rumoured in October. It may have already been confirmed by the time this video goes live. You got Rocket League, which I've already mentioned. We've got announcements for Pokemon and Metroid, and that's kind of veering off the point, but pretty much Zelda, Mario Kart, ARMS, Minecraft. Seriously, I think this is the greatest year one for a console ever. We've just got so many big hitters in one year. You got the 2 mammoths that are Zelda and Super Mario Odyssey. You got Splatoon 2, which is just flipping greatness in a box. Not sheer perfection, which I did talk about in my Splatoon 2 review, but it's still a great game nonetheless. You got ARMS, which is really fun. So yeah, I think this year, like seriously, it's just going to be hard to top, because we've got so many great games coming out all of the time, which is why I am picking and choosing what games I am picking up, just because I don't want to rush the games that I've already got. So yeah, I think Nintendo, they have done a really good job carrying the hype like through since when the system came out, and even before then really. I would say that ever since the Switch got revealed in that trailer in October last year, crikey, that was nearly 11 months ago now. Can you believe that? Can you believe that it's been nearly 11 months since the Switch first got revealed? It feels longer than that just because we've had so much stuff happen since then. But seriously, Nintendo, they have kept the hype going from October up until January. We had that presentation which I stayed up and stayed up to watch that. It was 4 o'clock in the morning my time. That was so exciting to watch. And then they kept the hype going up until March. And then we've had a game a month pretty much. We've got Zelda. Then we had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Then you had Ultra Street Fighter 2. Then you had Minecraft in between. And then you had ARMS leading into Splatoon 2. You got Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. You've got FIFA 18 coming out in September. You've got Pokemon Tournament coming out in September. And then in October you've got Fire Emblem Warriors. You may have Skyrim in there. Again, that may have been confirmed by the time this video does get posted. I'm recording this a little bit before today's date, the 3rd of September, just because I don't have time to record this video nearer the time. So you got Mario Odyssey at the end of October. November, I can't remember what's coming out in November, to be completely honest. But December, you got Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think that is when that game's coming out. I don't think it has been confirmed yet. But seriously, Nintendo, they have done a really good job keeping the hype going. And I'm just a really happy and excited Switch owner, because you're at E3, forgot to mention this at E3, and that definitely helped to keep the hype going. They announced Pokemon for the Switch, and they announced Metroid Prime 4, as well as a new Yoshi game and Kirby game, and that definitely helped to keep the hype going up until Splatoon 2. And recently we had Gamescom, which was a massive surprise for me, just because we got new announcements for Splatoon 2 there, a new character for ARMS, our first look at docked gameplay for FIFA 18. You got Rocket League announcing new cars, like exclusive cars for the Switch version. That Metroid car looks really flipping great, by the way. It really does. You got more Skyrim stuff, as well as new stuff for Super Mario Odyssey. So Nintendo, they have done a really good job keeping the hype going. And I don't really have a problem with the Switch at all. I would say the only thing that I want is I want the online to be free, but that we know that's not going to happen. That's my problem. The online service, I do have my worries about that, whether they will deliver a good enough service for us to actually pay for it. I think, with my experience with games like Splatoon 2, I've been getting a lot of disconnections, and it's not just me, a lot of other people have as well. It's not just a problem for me. So I do have my fears with the online service, especially after the launch of the beta app recently. That wasn't that good at all. So I do have, that is my biggest problem, like paying for online. I just need to see more. I need to see whether it will be value for money. And I think, yeah, it's cheaper now, but Nintendo may just raise the price every few years, like what Sony do. Sony raised the price of PSN or PS Plus every few years. So I'm sure Nintendo will probably do that. That's just my main problem. I've got another little problem. I want to see more first-person shooters on the platform, as well as AAA third-party games. But to be honest, I've got PS4 for that. I'd just rather see third-party games come out for the Switch. I want to see first-person shooters on the Switch that take advantage of gyro. Just because I really did love the Wii Remote and nunchuck setup on the Wii for first-person shooters like Call of Duty. So they're just a few problems that I've had, or that I'm still having about the Switch. I'm sure there are others which I'm not really thinking about off the top of my head. But seriously, I am a happy Switch owner. There's just so many great games coming out for the system that it's hard not to be a happy Switch owner. I just want to go back to a time before the system actually launched, just because in the wider gaming community, you had a lot of people out there saying that, oh, the Switch, it's going to flop, it's doomed, it's never going to sell well, and that's it for Nintendo. They're going to back out the hardware situation, and they're just going to be a third-party software developer for Sony and Microsoft. A lot of people said that the Switch would flop. A lot of people said that that's it for Nintendo, but 6 months on, they couldn't have been more wrong, because the Switch, it's selling out left, right and centre. It would have sold more if Nintendo didn't have manufacturing problems. They are in a battle with Apple, if reports are to be believed, for certain parts needed for the Switch, like the screen for the system. So I'm sure, at the moment I'd say that the Switch is probably around about 6 or 7 million. The last figure we've had is around about 5 million, and they were figures based up until the end of June, so I'm sure it has sold at least 1 million more than that. We are in September, I'm sure it is sitting around about the 6 million mark, and I think it has a chance of passing the Wii U's total sales, which was around about 14-15 million. I think the Switch has a chance of passing that at the end of the year. But I always said, like in my Nintendo Switch is Doomed video, or in videos around that time, I did say that I think the Switch, it would pass the Wii U's total lifetime sales by or around March 2018. I always said that, and I still believe that. But it's just funny, like looking back at what the haters were saying. It's like the haters, they were saying, oh, the Switch, it's never going to sell well at all because Nintendo are not focusing on power. The Switch is not powerful enough. People will not buy that. Nintendo, they should have, stuffed the gimmicks, making a system where it's, flexible for the gamer, where you can take it anywhere. Nintendo, they should focus on making a system with a normal controller and competing against Sony and Microsoft. And you still got people still flipping saying that today, even though those people have been proved wrong, just because the Switch, like what I said, it's selling out left, right and centre. The system is on flipping fire. Like seriously, Nintendo is smashing it this time around. I just want to mention the trailers as well. Seriously, the trailers definitely get you hyped. They include third-party games as well. It's like the latest trailer that I watched included games like FIFA, Rocket League in there, which is really cool to see. Something which I have been saying that Nintendo should have been doing for the longest time. I said that Nintendo should include those third-party games in Directs, and they have done. They announced Payday 2 in a Nintendo Direct this year. They included FIFA 18 and that was it, FIFA 18 at Gamescom. So that is really cool to see. Hopefully they will do more of that moving forward. But yeah, you had a lot of people out there saying, oh, the Switch, it's too expensive. Oh, it should have been $250, £200. It's never going to sell well at $300. Well, yeah, you were wrong, weren't you? Because like what I said, it's selling out. Selling out all the time. It's really hard to get hold of the system, especially in Japan. So yeah, the price was never a problem. That's something which I said at the start. The only thing I said about the price was that Nintendo, they bumped up the price by £30 in the UK, which I didn't really see why they needed to do that. Just because $300 should be £250 in the UK, but I'm sure they put up the price due to factors, maybe due to Brexit. But yeah, that was the only problem that I had, that I was paying £30 more for something which I felt I shouldn't have done. But yeah, the price, not a problem at all for people, because I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, it's selling really well at this moment in time. You had people saying, oh, the accessories, too much, 60 quid for a Pro Controller, way too much. Well, seriously, the Pro Controller has to be one of the greatest controllers ever made. It's so comfortable, so flipping good to use. I guess the only negative I have about it is that the triggers on digital or analog, I always get the two mixed up, but there's a better triggers out there. Nintendo, they haven't used them for the Pro Controller. But seriously, 40-hour battery life, The fact that you got a gyro in there as well. Seriously, I'm just loving playing Splatoon 2 with it. Really great controller. I guess paying £70 for 2 Joy-Cons, that is expensive. But again, I just want to mention something which I did talk about in my Nintendo Switch is Doom video probably, and that is the fact that because you are pretty much getting 2 Wii remotes, and a Wii remote on its own costs £35. 2 Joy-Cons at £70. I'm not sure about what it is in America, what the cost is like in terms of dollars, but you are pretty much getting 2 Wii remotes for that price, and that is a fair price. So I don't really have a problem with the accessories, but that is what people were talking about at the time. You got people, oh, the battery life, it's way too flipping, oh, it's way too short. And these people were probably never going to take their system out on the go. I never complained about that just because I have never took my system out of the dock. I've never played it in handheld, so I never complained about that. But it's funny because those same people, they were saying, oh, the Switch, it should have been more powerful, but then they were complaining about the short battery life. If it was more powerful, then the battery life would have been shorter, and these people were complaining about the price as well. So if they made it more powerful and made the battery life more, it would have been more expensive. So you would have been complaining no matter what Nintendo would have done in that situation. So Nintendo could never win in those people's eyes. You got people saying, oh, there's not enough games at launch as well. And at the time I did say Zelda is enough, and it was enough. It was definitely enough for a lot of people. You've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that came out at the right time for people that finished Zelda, were looking for something new, and you had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that is selling really well. A lot of people are picking up that game. So the fact that, oh, there's not enough games at launch, there's not enough games in year one, what a load of rubbish that was. And that's something which I did say at the time, but I have been proven right 6 months later, and I knew I was going to be proven right. It's like I said, that game Zelda would last me a good couple of months, and I'm still playing it. I still need to do stuff in that game. So those people, they're just nitpicking, trying to find something to complain about, trying to find something to drag Nintendo down, trying to paint the Switch into a negative picture so that people won't pick it up. But they completely failed, because the Switch is selling really well at the moment. It's doing, it's doing really well. It is successful at this moment in time, and like what I said, I think it would have been more successful. I guess the points where these people do have a point on, third-party support, but that is improving with games like Rocket League and the online service. That is something which I came out on the 13th of January, and I complained about that. I complained about the online service, saying that not a big fan of paying for it. I did actually talk about that on the day the presentation happened. It's something which I'm still not happy about. I still need to be convinced about the online service. But in terms of all of the other stuff, I wonder what the haters are talking about now, because I think the haters should be eating crow right now, just because, seriously, they have been proven wrong pretty emphatically, pretty much. Nintendo shot them down pretty quickly, and yeah, it's just funny how you don't really see people apologising for the stuff that they were talking about. I don't really keep up to date with what people that don't like the Switch, that don't like Nintendo, I don't really keep up with what those people have moved on to now that their original excuses have been completely shot out of the water. I'm not really sure what they have moved on to. I'm sure they have moved on to something, just because they can't take it that Nintendo are doing well. For some reason it hurts them, even though it's just stupid how people are so flipping loyal to a brand, even though those companies will never do something to these people that hate on Nintendo, that defend Sony on the internet. It's not like you got flipping Mark Cerny come around and say, oh my god, you defended us in a NeoGAF post, here's a free PS4 Pro. It's not like they actually do that. So yeah, these people quite pathetic. But yeah, these haters, everyone was pretty much wrong about the Switch. Everyone was saying that it's not going to do well based on all the reasons that I listed. But in my Nintendo Switch is doomed video. I pretty much shot those topics out of the water there and then. It's just nice to be proven right, but that's not the point of this video. The point is that I'm a happy Switch owner and really I'm excited about what's coming next, but I'm enjoying what is out now on the system. So yeah, it's just, that's it for this video. 6 months on, I'm a happy Switch owner. Let me know where you are now, and maybe your opinions change. It's like before the Switch got announced, I said, oh, I'm not sure whether I would be a fan of a hybrid system. I said that concept, it wasn't really for me, but 6 months after owning the system, I didn't know I wanted the system until I actually owned it, and that is what Nintendo are great at doing. Instead of providing you with something which you need, they provide you with something. Actually, I got that backwards. Instead of providing you with something that you want, they provide you with something which you never thought you needed. So yeah, that's just, I'm just really happy. I'm just, seriously, it's just an exciting time to be a Switch owner, and yeah, I think the Switch will pass Wii U by March 2018, and rightly so. Really is rightly so. It will be interesting to see what will be coming next. Will third parties start to jump on board? Will we see the next Call of Duty come out for the Switch next year? Will be interesting to see whether third parties will react. In terms of third party games that I want For Honor on the Switch, just because that game would really suit motion control. I've said that ever since I first played the game in the beta. But yeah, that is it for this video. This video is going on for way longer than what I thought it would do. But yeah, I'm just a happy Switch owner. And let me know where you are in the comment section below. So that is it, and I will see you next time.